Now we'd like to welcome City of Houston Controller Chris Hollins. He is the Chief Financial Officer of the city and oversees the city's budget. Controller Hollins, good morning. We kind of brought you in quickly. Welcome to Hello Houston.
Good morning. Good morning. It's awesome to be here, and congratulations. This is
Thank you.
exciting.
And you're our first in-studio guest. So
Yes.
I'm going to put it on my resume.
Thank you for being here. Yes.
We are really proud of what we have here at Houston Public Media, and it's exciting to have a guest with us right now.
Absolutely. Beautiful to be here.
So we have questions.
Oh, yeah.
First, how do you like your thankless job? Because you have a really tough one. I will say that, Chris. So this $330 million budget deficit. Well, what are we going to do to get out of this hole?
That's a good question that you'll have to ask your mayor and city council. Look, my job is to roll the numbers out, right? To share the facts, to make sure that people understand, including, our policymakers, that they understand the financial consequences of the decisions that they're making. And so what I've been doing for the last 15 months is saying, look, we have a growing city. We have needs for public safety, for people getting their trash picked up on time, for parks, for libraries. But we also have to understand that stuff costs money, and we have to know how we're going to pay for those critical services. And where we've been doing, for the last year and some change, and even much longer, is that we're spending more money than is coming in, and at some point you got to pay the piper.
Do we borrow from Peter to pay Paul? Is that one of the problems we've run into?
Well, something that has been done is using one-time funding sources for recurring costs, right? So during the pandemic, cities, counties, states across the country got a lot of funding from the federal government. Right. And we took that one-time money, which we knew we were only going to get one time, but we started putting it towards things like employee salaries, which next year they come due again, right? And so now that money's gone, we still have to pay for those employee salaries. And that's just one of the reasons why we're in some financial challenges right now.
Are there particular cities or municipalities that you look to that have kind of got the budgetary world figured out that are kind of inspirational to you?
Look, I want to be honest with you. There are a lot of major cities. If you think about Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and we're the fourth largest city, they're facing similar troubles with big deficits.
Right.
But I just got back a couple weeks ago from beautiful Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, right? And they are AAA rated as a city, right? They keep a significant amount of their annual budget in cash on hand just for rainy days and emergencies. And so their chief financial officer is somebody who I look to for counsel quite often.
So, Controller Hollins, you started a fiscal year audit plan. Can you talk to us about what that looks like and what you're expecting from your audit plan of the city?
Sure. So as your city controller, I'm the independently elected chief financial officer of the city. One of my many jobs is to be the city's auditor, to focus on accountability, to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And particularly in a time with a $300+ million deficit, looking for opportunities to save money or to locate revenues, right? And so we just issued our fiscal year 2025 audit plan. It has 37 new engagements on it, and many of those are looking for ways that we can cut down on costs, right? A big one that we're going to talk about tomorrow at City Council is overtime.
Yeah.
So our firefighters, our police officers, all of who are doing incredible and important work, those overtime numbers are skyrocketing. And we have to understand what's behind that and take action to get a hold of it. Similarly, our solid waste management department, folks who have been picking up our trash and they're understaffed. Their vehicles for a long time have not been up to par. And for that reason, a lot of our trash remains on our curb longer than it should. And they're working record overtime to solve that. But we have to fix it. So that's just one example of something that we're looking into to figure out how we can save money to continue to provide high-level services for Houstonians.
This $330 million budget, what is our full budget?
That's exactly what I was going to. How does this really fit into the picture? Because it sounds astronomical to us.
But it's about a 10% shortfall. Is that what it is?
It is. So your overall budget for the entire city, $7 billion with a B, big number. But when we talk about the deficit, we're talking about the general fund. The general fund is what pays for police, fire, trash, parks, libraries. And how we pay for that is through your property taxes, through sales taxes, and then through some other fees and revenues that come in. That general fund budget is just north of $3 billion. And yes.
So this is 10%. We're 10% shortfall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you a math major?
Only when it's 10%. I can do that really quick. I dealt with percentages my whole career.
So, Chris, what do you see in the future in that crystal ball of how we get things balanced out and get out of this? Or is it something that we will just continue to carry and that's okay from a bookkeeping point of view?
Well, we can't continue to carry it. And there's no magic here, right? In the same way that you balance your checkbook, every month.
I don't know that you want to balance the way I balance my checkbook.
In the same way that you should,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You either got two choices, right? Because if you're spending more than you're bringing in, then you're going to run out of money. And we're getting closer and closer to that point with the city of Houston. There's only two ways out of it. You either reduce your costs or you bring some more revenue in, or some combination of the two. And city council, along with the mayor, needs to put out a plan for how we're going to either increase revenues or decrease costs, or both, to get us to a more fiscal sustainable situation.
Yeah. Quick question. Renaming Bagby Street after the late Sylvester Turner. What's up with that?
This is one of the many ways that we should honor the life and legacy of former mayor and Congressman Sylvester Turner. A personal hero of mine, a friend and a mentor. I get pretty emotional talking about him. That's still fresh. But he did so much in service of this community, dedicating his life to this city, bringing us through Hurricane Harvey, bringing us through the pandemic, bringing us through winter storms. And it's just, again, one way that we should honor him, his family, and this entire city. And so what we're proposing is the downtown stretch of Bagby, which is like 6 or 7 blocks. The city already owns most of the property on that street anyhow. And what we need is 75% of property owners to sign a petition in order to drive that change. And then there's a couple other stops at City Hall that goes on. We already have the support from enough of the private owners to do this, and now we just need the city support. And so I'm asking City Council and the mayor to get behind this unanimously and to name Bagby Street downtown to what will now be Sylvester Turner Avenue.
Oh, that's lovely. Good luck.
It really is.